Assalamu alaikum, everyone, and welcome back to another client testimonial. And today I have the honor to speak not only with a client, because I think Nilly goes beyond just being a client, but she's a really, really good friend of mine. And despite being a really, really good friend of mine, I do want to put the disclaimer out there that, we have been through stuff over the years, and mashallah. And we have experienced so much together, and I have had the honor to really support her through a lot of her tumultuous times in her life. And she came on board to do our program Reclaim and Rise, and it was just epic to be able to support her in that way as well. So welcome, my friend Nilly.
Thank you, my darling. Thank you for having me. I really love that you've reached out and we can do this. So
same subhanallah, like we've known each other for so long, right? And it's been often people kind of say, don't allow your friends to become your clients, kind of thing, because it sometimes there's like a conflict of interest, and then it gets all a bit weird. But we haven't had that experience, and we've had, tell us about what we have had together before we kind of talk about the program specifically. What has been for you, from your perspective, what's been our journey? Oh, the Nilly sigh.
Oh, what a journey. I mean, you came into my life at a time where so much was going on, and I was a mess. And I identified as being a mess. And when you walked into my life, subhanallah, I felt your energy, I felt your heart, and I knew that you were going to be my friend forever. Like, I just knew it. And alhamdulillah, may Allah protect us. For me, it was just like, just getting to know you. And I was and our conversations were deep, and, we would reach out to each other in times of need, me more so than you. And then obviously as we're growing and we're learning new things and we're sharing, like I've had huge growth spurts, thanks to our friendship, thanks to meeting you. And I mean, it's hard to put it in a nutshell, and we only have a limited time together right now. However, our personal journey has been one of sincere friendship. Like I knew, it goes without saying, I don't think we've ever actually sat down and spoke about it in that way. But it was like we connected from here, and we go from here every time. And alhamdulillah for that, and as you've grown and you've created your own business and, putting amazing content out there for sisters, it's like everyone gets to see, like everyone gets to have the best of you in that way. And I'm really proud of you, by the way.
Stop it. This was not the point of this.
I'm so proud of you now. But come on, like, can I talk about how I came onto the program?
Yeah, definitely. Before we let's give us a snapshot of where you were emotionally, mentally, before you decide to embark on that epic transformational journey.
Absolutely. So when I learned about your program, I was in Turkey, and I was there to support my mum, who was in a very bad way. She lives in Turkey and I live in London, and I hadn't been to Turkey for 16 years prior, and I had to go out there within 24 hours. And so as soon as I was there, I faced a lot of serious challenges with my mum, because we've always had a difficult relationship, and I've never known my place in that. And I was there supporting her, but yet I was under a lot of duress with her at the same time. So I remember just what happened, what the vision that I had was that I was just crumbling under the pressure. And when you told me about your program, I was like, I'm in. I need this. Now is the time. I'm ready for this. And so, yeah, and then that's how I signed up, and I did the program bit by bit. Sometimes I had to take a break, and then I caught up, but then I finished. And I'll let you direct that.
You know, I now call the program an, besides being an epic journey of transformation, I call it a beautiful homecoming. And that came from something you shared with us while you were on the program. And I remember when I saw, you know, the what you had shared with us, right? My heart was just like, that's it. That's exactly, because I admit I do find it sometimes a challenge to really put a finger on what it is that we do, you know, what it is, what's the essence of this. And then when you said that, I was like, that's it. So tell us about your homecoming through this program.
I mean,
Hey, my heart.
I've got goosebumps all over. I'm just like, woohoo! Alhamdulillah, for me, it was really, I didn't know that was what was happening. And I didn't know that was in my like near future. Like I was so close, and I looking back, I realized how close I was to that. And it was having your guidance, you know, as a teacher who is able to help me understand where I'm coming from, right? And where I'm at. And it doesn't have to be my future, right? It's not me forever. And that as I was being guided through the work, doing that growth work week to week, and connecting with other sisters on the program, and really kind of like seeing, subhanAllah, we are all from different walks of life, that this isn't just for one or another. It is a beautiful program. It's a beautiful walkthrough. And it was like a homecoming is inevitable. And I didn't know that until it happened for me. And then as I've seen others progress through the program as well, and connecting with those sisters, I mean, it's just been amazing to see how like each and every time someone goes through something and is able to use the growth work that you provide and guiding us through it and teaching us, giving us the tools, really. Like I said, the homecoming is inevitable. And for me, it was just, that was my moment of true transition from how I was to who I wanted to be, and who I knew deep down who I really was anyway.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. How did your homecoming manifest?
In the physical, like, so immediately it was this sense of like calm and this sense of contentment, that even though my surroundings hadn't changed, the people I was connecting with hadn't changed, they had done nothing. I didn't have my breakthrough because someone apologized to me, or, do you know what I mean? Like it was purely like an internal shift that felt like this piece that has been hovering and banging against other things finally had somewhere to settle. And it was right in my heart. So when I feel something in my heart now, I'm like this, like I hug myself at my heart, because that's where I feel home. Home has been a big deal for me for many years. Right?
As someone who's been a bit of a nomad, you know, and moving from country to continent, home to, you know, different places. And that really hit me, because even though we can create many homes, our home is really here. And despite where we find ourselves, who we find ourselves amongst, when we can center ourselves back there, there's that safety, security, and certainty that I'm okay, and if things are going to be all right. Right?
Absolutely. Because you only really have yourself. No matter who you know, interact with, marry to, produce through you, you only have you. And if you can't feel at home in yourself, nothing else will make you, like, nothing else will be able to do that for you. And so this really heart-centered, beautiful program not only strips back the layers really quickly, by the way, that really shocked me, because I thought that this process will take forever, right? Yeah. That change takes forever. Yeah. However, it was really a matter of, no, it was because I was doing the work. I was committed, focused, and willing to learn, and trusting you, because I know you, and I know that your word is golden. Alhamdulillah. May Allah protect you and your word and everything that you do. And I mean, it was a no-brainer for me. However, doing the work was everything that I needed. I felt like I had the tools. You gave me the tools. You explained how to use it, and that you can recreate this for yourself in anything in your life. Yes. Like, it wasn't just for one thing or another. You're set. You got these tools, girl. You can recreate this for yourself anytime. And it was just powerful stuff. Like, you did not scrimp on anything to do with what we need.
Yeah.
And I'm really grateful for that. Thank you.
It's been an honor, and seeing the flip. And the thing is, I know you as being someone who has been consistently working on herself, mashallah. And so you weren't a stranger to change and transformation and growth and doing the work. I'm curious to know, what was it this time, as someone who had a ton of information and has been on the journey for so long, what was it this time that flipped it for you?
I know in my heart that because I didn't have the answer to my question of how do I take this and still continue, because I felt like a lot of my life was about things happening to me and I just remained stuck. My understanding was that you become stuck because things happen to you. And it was like, well, the question that I'd always had from the get-go was, how can I still function productively? And I'm not just talking about, like, the usual scheduling of things and routines and things like that, but I'm genuinely saying, like, as a human being, how can I get up every day still, despite my problems, despite my issues with others, and the challenges that I was facing? And so because I was alone as well, like, I had I was with my children, my husband was here, and I had no one to turn to. All my loved ones were back here. I couldn't distract myself with, let me just go and see someone. Let me just go and, it was like, and I thought to myself, it's now or never. I just thought to myself, okay, how many times am I going to go through the cycles of these before I finally say, I need to do some work here? Like, this is the work. And then it was just committing to that, because I was open to committing and I was open to learning. And I think that when you are committed and you're open to learning, your teachers will present themselves in any way, shape or form. Yeah. And I'm so blessed that you presented yourself. Alhamdulillah. Thank you.
Alhamdulillah. So I'm curious to know, what was, as someone who you went on the journey, you put yourself, you played full out, and even there were moments that you may have fallen off the bandwagon, but you recommitted and you showed up again. What was your number one celebration, the number one transformation that you experienced as this woman who has come home to herself?
The first thing that really screams inside of me is that I've learned to course correct my life. And that for me sums up everything, because anything can happen anytime, and it does. But the fact that my homecoming has manifested now in that I'm not afraid to face anything anymore. I become afraid when things happen sometimes, but I'm not afraid to look at it, to interact with it, have a conversation with it, right? And I'm not afraid to make a mistake now and course correct myself. Am I lying?
Yeah, I love that. I love that you mentioned that, because I think people build up an expectation that life will now be perfect as a result of doing the change work and going on their transformation journey and coming home to themselves. Like, you know, now it's all going to be rosy. But in reality, it's that you will continue to face life, because life is full of trials and tests and ups and downs. It's how you face it now that's changed,
Right.
you know, and the fact that you can face fear, say, hey, come on, you know, which is really powerful and quite beautiful. What impact has this had in your relationships, in the people that around you? How has your change impacted them?
I stopped chasing their change. I stopped trying to direct them and force them to, like, please just do this, like, take my advice and do this. But, you know, also it's like, again, there's no such thing in my life as a perfect day in that sense. And again, it goes back to the course correcting. When I find myself micromanaging a bit, I'm like, no, hold up. Girl, you're good. He's good. They're good. And I think that I've been experiencing more and more of just being in the moment now and really appreciating what I have in this moment. And it's allowed me to stop not just judging myself, but to judge others less. You know, I have all this talk about my husband in my head. I have all this talk in my head about my kids. But then it's like hearing myself and being like, not necessary. I can love them right now as they are. And that's all they need. And that's all I need. And it's been wonderful. And alhamdulillah, I've been able to have this amazing breakthrough with my mom.
Girl, I wasn't ready for that. And knowing your history.
Yeah, you know.
Okay.
And because I had the tools, I did the work that built the muscles. And when I was put in that situation and I was crumbling again, I felt like I was crumbling again. I had what I needed because I was here. I was here. I wasn't anywhere else. I wasn't trying to escape my life, escape myself, and have this, you know, out of body experience. I was right here. And that allowed me to really kind of experience something with my mum that I've never had. A sincere honesty. And also it shifted my perspective of her as well, which I felt like was stuck for so long as well. And I feel like it's like your program is the gift that keeps on giving. Many of the things that I've learned there and I've done has helped me to do it again and again and again and again. So you ask me, like, what's the one thing? I'm like, can we talk about the million things?
Man, you know, I always say to people who are interested in the program, you know, this is an investment in the rest of your life.
Oh, yes.
You know, because you do not go back to being the woman that you were. You just, in all the years that I've been doing this, I have never seen someone revert back to exact person that they were. Yeah, sometimes we have regression because, you know, sometimes we need to take some steps back to take steps forward. And that's, you know, sometimes there's that dance in life that we need to kind of take a seat back to kind of see things differently and then take steps forward from a surer place or from a healthier, wholesome place. But you just don't go back to being that. And life
is never the same again. Life is never the same again.
Yeah.
It's wonderful. Because the thing is that, like I said, I think more than anything is that we're so used to being on autopilot.
Yes.
So then we think that when we reach a transformation, that our happiness and our joy and contentment of that should be on autopilot.
Pretty girl. Yes.
In fact, life is that dance.
Yeah.
And because we are so dynamic, there's so much to us. There's more than we can even sit and count the ways, right?
Yeah.
So it's like when you're free to move, when you're free to have that flexibility within yourself, you're no longer chasing autopilot. You're no longer wanting it to be something that stays with you forever, because you will never taste anything else. It will be vanilla. No one wants vanilla forever.
Nope.
You know?
Yeah,
but
sure.
So it's like that dance becomes something of a beautiful interaction with yourself, and then sometimes it attracts like maybe your husband or your kids, and they're like, oh, I want to come dance with you. That sounds good, that looks good, like let me have some of that, please. And then it's like, sure, come in. Or sometimes no, this is just for me. You know, so I love that. I'm loving life, alhamdulillah. Like, I never thought I'd be so, when people are like, yeah, I'm living my best life, like, and I'm living that life to the max and stuff, like I was like all right. But I love my life. It's the only one I've got. And before it's like, yeah, you only get one life, like respect it and appreciate it, but it never did anything for me. Working on myself, taking this program, no brainer, best decision. And it's like, you cut out all the nonsense and all the noise. You make it so simple to understand and to appreciate and to connect with others as well, which I loved so much.
You know, some people have a bit of a jolt, a reaction to the growth work, right? Because it's deep, and we go there, and I take you to places that you might not even thought that you even could get to. What were some of your first reactions in the first few weeks of the program when you came to the growth work? What were some of your first responses internally to what I called you to do and called you to partake in?
That mirror exercise.
That's the one.
That mirror exercise. Profound. You think something so insignificant of looking at yourself in the eye and talking to yourself in the words that you desperately want to hear from others is something just minor. That helped me during that time that I mentioned just before, when I had that breakthrough with my mum, because I internalized that so much, that exercise, that in that moment, what I then was able to do, if you don't mind me sharing this, is I visualized my best self show up, put her arm around me and tell me it's okay. It's not about you. It's about her. And just having that was what I needed to really just not run from myself. Because I've been running my whole life. Running. That mirror exercise. Thank you.
Thank you. And thank you for showing up for it. Because I have had ladies who, they see the growth work and they're just like, nah. Like, we've had ladies on the program who literally shut their laptop and say, yeah.
Yeah, I feel you.
Because it's like a really seeing yourself and facing yourself. And for people who haven't been accustomed to doing that and embracing yourself, I love that imagery that you just shared. that you have reached a point now where in these moments where you need love the most, you can give it to yourself. Often we feel like it needs to, has to, must come from someone else. And that constant running and seeking and needing and just calling on someone. And then when they don't deliver, it's like heartbreaking and you feel shattered. But to know that actually I can do it for myself, that is such an empowering space to be in. And I love that you are practicing and living this. You know, when I say to the ladies, you know, I want you to live this growth work. This isn't just something to do on paper and just like, you know, it's like schoolwork. This is real living. And you sharing that, it's just like, yes. Yes.
Alhamdulillah.
What would be a number, like if you were going to use a word to, besides a homecoming, if you were going to use a word to describe your experience in the program, what word would that be?
You're going to have to edit out this pause.
Now we're going to leave it
in. Oh my goodness. Because homecoming was really like, that was it for me. But
yeah.
It felt sublime. It felt sublime to finally reach a plane that I'd never been there before in myself. And the wonder, the just everything happening. And if I were to just sit back and just be like, wow, that was sublime. Like the way it all came together, the way it happened, that homecoming felt sublime.
Thank you. That's a word that I haven't heard being used, and that means so much. And I want you to kind of share some words with anyone who is hesitating on doing the growth work and going on a journey, maybe from fear, maybe from even feeling like they don't even have the resources to kind of to kind of embark on it. What words would you share for those ladies?
Don't give up on yourself. There's many ways to achieve this, in terms of like, you can go about this in all different ways. But if you've come here, if you've come to LaYinka, you found her, and you resonate with her, and she resonates with you. Don't delay it. Don't delay it at all. Figure out a way. You know, there's times when I have, when I wanted to do something, couldn't afford it, didn't have the money. I've reached out to people and been like, can I have some from you? And can I have some from you? Can you help me do this? And just being honest to say, I can pay you back, I can't pay you back, or I will pay you back, inshallah. Figure it out. Get on the program. Don't hesitate, because you're not going to worry about how much you spent on this at the end. It's never going to be a thing for you. And also, like, you've done such an amazing job of setting this up so well and so responsive to your community. You're not like, no one gets left behind. And that's rare. I find I've done programs and it's felt like, oh, this has fizzled out quite easily and quickly, you know? And I find that yours is so engaging and so supportive, and how the team is so incredibly invested that we are here for our ladies. And we will help them cross that bridge. Whatever they need, we'll figure it out. And I don't know of anything else. I don't know of anything else that works in this way, that gives you these results. I can't speak to any of that. I can only speak to this. So,
and thank you for speaking so graciously and generously, and just honestly as well, and just painting the picture of where you were, that feeling of feeling so lost and stuck, and then allowing yourself to kind of give yourself the permission to embark on the journey, because many women, they know that they want to, but they hold themselves back for some reason. Sometimes it is the guilt, should I do this when they need me, and when I should be doing this, and is this a right decision to make considering the circumstances and things like that. But just hearing you and listening to you show us and share with us how impactful your transformation has been beyond you is so inspiring. And this is what I always say, that we are almost like the pebble that falls into the water, and then the ripples of change that happen as a result of us really kind of coming to ourselves. And that can't be underestimated. So you've had these beautiful breakthroughs and these beautiful moments of connection and realization and connectedness. And I'm curious to know, what do you feel lies ahead for you? What do you envision for your future? What do you want to create for your future from this space of wholeness and having come home to yourself?
Well, you know that I had a business when I went into this anyway, and that business has been able to grow in a way that I've wanted to for years. And I was afraid to go there. But obviously, like I said, the growth work has provided these growth spurts, which have shifted my perspective on so much. So I'm running with my business now. I'm playing hard out, and I'm loving it, and I'm able to connect with you have been such a great role model that I kind of use what you have taught me in the way that you've taught me to then connect with my community and to show up for them in the way that is meaningful to all of us, and I'm content with how slow my business grows, whatnot. We want to move, we want to travel, we want to, I'm laying down pipe, girl, and I'm working on what I'm going to put through that pipes as well, and I'm just so excited. I really am. And I don't feel stuck. So it's like, this can change. Hey, something can come along and I'd be like, hey, I'm done with this. And I'll go with that,
I've told you privately, but I'll share it also publicly, that I feel the change in just your energy, in how you are with your community. And I can feel this, and it goes beyond connection for me. Like I don't have the word that really describes it, but it's just this wholeness and this whole being that you bring, like it's like you fully entered, Nilly has fully arrived. I am here. And I know that you've kind of often told me, like some of your struggles and this and that and doubts and blah, blah, blah. But it's just like, okay, we're here, we're doing this, you're honoring yourself. And I love it. I love witnessing it. I love hearing about it. And I really, truly feel it in every aspect of the work you're doing. And I'm proud of you. I love what you're doing. And I pray that, just blessing upon blessing is put in it, and it goes far and wide, and really supports and helps those ladies who need it. And it's amazing, because it's such a reflection of what's changed and shifted in you, in terms of you wanting ladies to see the journey of themselves and to really benefit from that for themselves, and to experience it in the journaling form. So it's epic. It's cool. I love it. I'm here for it. Thank you so much for sharing your I know we could talk for hours and hours about this. So thank you so much for giving me your time. I know you're also a very busy woman, and it means so much that you could craft this time for me. And for anyone who is watching this, who is in a space who feeling disconnected with yourself, feeling lost within yourself, feeling like you're almost just watching yourself move through life. Definitely get in contact with us, book a breakthrough call so we can explore what is currently going on for you right now, and if and how we will be able to support you, inshallah, and for you to also have an epic journey of transformation so that you can finally come home to yourself and all the beauty that comes from that beautiful homecoming that awaits you. Go to layinkasanni.com/call, and I'll be waiting to take a call from you. In the meantime, I really hope that you enjoyed this conversation with Nilly. Do be sure to check her out at storidori.com. And all the awesomeness that she's doing there. And you can really see her homecoming come to life through her work.
Thank you, my darling.
Thank you, my love.
And I'm so excited for all the new people to come. And I'm really excited to see and hear more of others. You have this conversation with so many more wonderful ladies who will be sitting on this end after they've done the work, they've continued on with their lives. Like, bring it.
We're here for it.
Yay!
We're here for it. Thank you so much, my love. Take care, and I look forward to speaking with you ladies on a breakthrough call very, very soon. Bye. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.